Let's get started then. Episode 5 of Valenaria Chronicles, when it's entitled The Hunters. So for a recap, so you'll understand that. In episode 2, we followed the adventure of Kador and Ysarelle, the Druid and Ranger, played by Alex and Bree, who discovered something disturbing in the forest from which they have ventured, which is a flurry of insects that were trying to flee, which is not something you want to see when you're headed in the direction the fleeing comes from. And in this case, it appeared to be hunters venturing into the forest and killing wildlife. I believe it was 2 deer that they found, one of which was just left there minus its antlers. So they're partially hunting for sport. They ventured to the nearest city, which was already their plan for the beginning of their pilgrimage that they are undergoing for the Druids Conclave out of the Great Forest. Once they got to Santer, they asked around and they found a Fletcher named Wilson, who told them that the arrow that they found in one of the wildlife in the forest was a custom order that he did not make, but he was fairly certain there are people in the city of Santer at this moment who ordered them and probably were people using them. And he said that they hang out at the nearby tavern, and that's where we are at this moment. On the 26th of Pelleros, our characters Kador and Ysarelle are venturing into the nearby tavern, and we are picking up right there, sans the bard who will be joining us in about half an hour. So what is your approach to this tavern situation?
Well, I think we're gonna go into the tavern.
Yeah, definitely.
Just
I've never
stride on in. Okay. You pull an Aragorn, push the doors open, and walk on in. We are now in the tavern. It is, again, Santer is a fairly large city for its time. So there's a lot of hustle and bustle going on around the city around this time. And here in the tavern, there's all manner of people having a good time sitting around, gambling, talking, drinking, eating, and having a general overall good time. Ooh, I get to make a comparison for Ysarelle then. I doubt Ysarelle was ever in a tavern in Oasis, but this being one of your first tastes of the civilized world, we'll call it, is not an accurate term in this case. Since you moved into the Great Forest and started your journey to become a ranger, this is unusual to you because Oasis is very much, it's not so much gang wars in the streets sort of situation in Oasis as much as it is everyone is out for themselves because no one else is going to be out for you. No one has your back. That's sort of the upbringing that you got in the orphanage as well. So here in Santer, these people are enjoying each other's company. They're interacting, they're laughing, they're joking, they're drinking, they're eating, and it's all very, possibly even overwhelming for either of you.
So it's a lot. It's not anything near like Tortuga in Pirates of the Caribbean.
No,
It's a lot
Santer.
happier.
So the region Santer is in, the province of Had, is not necessarily an analog to England, but it has, there are similarities to rural England.
Cool.
What you see, like the image I got from Skyrim is one of the Elder Scrolls games, is pretty close to the overall style of it. It's very European in feel. Think maybe like England or France sort of intermingled, that sort of society. Agrarian as well as many merchants traveling around.
Well, as soon as Ysarelle steps in, I'm sure she's gonna look around and she's just wide on. I cannot believe this. And I turn to Kador and I'm like, have you been to a place like this before?
Um, I, I was here. I visited places like this when I was younger, but I never really stepped foot in a tavern before because I was a wee little lad.
That makes complete sense. But I just expected more people to be hitting each other.
Um, I don't know. Maybe something is making them be joyful and having more fun than wanting to punch each other.
Are you talking about like magic or something, or is that just like what this town does?
I think it's more of a beverage of sorts. As you can see, it looks like a lot of people have drink in their hands.
Oh yeah, yep. I haven't really tasted anything like that before, but I did see plenty of that demeanor and stuff happening. How I grew up too. Yeah, it wasn't that great. So I'm kind of surprised. Like honestly, I'm kind of surprised they're acting like this because normally my experience has been the opposite.
Maybe it affects people differently.
Man, I guess I never thought about that. It is good to go out and see the world.
A barmaiden approaches you and says, "Will you be having some Averin ale?"
What is it good?
It's the talk of the town.
What? Oh my goodness. All right. In that case, I wouldn't mind some.
Two for us.
Okay, she gives you a grin and a wink, and hops off over to behind the counter. Comes back and says, "That'll be 5 copper pieces for each of you.
Okay.
Each of you gets a medium-sized mug with Averin ale."
Okay. All right. I'll take my first sip. All right. This is interesting. It's a little like bubbly. Not too bad.
Kador will also take a drink, and he will, after his first drink, he'll actually begin to cough a bit because he was surprised by the by the taste and the bubbliness. Wow, this is some strong stuff.
Now, has Kador been to a tavern? Was he sheltered? Did he have the "we'd rather you do it in the house" parents? What was his situation?
Like he's been to places like this, but he's never actually stepped foot in a tavern.
Okay. Well, considering how things like ale are an acquired taste, you can react as you please. I'm not going to make an entire session about rolling constitution checks or anything like that. But this gives you an idea of the culture. Averin ale, of course, pretty sure Kador would know this, but it wouldn't take long to figure out that Averin is the capital city that is a few days' ride from here.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're enjoying the atmosphere. We're also here on somewhat of a mission. So if you are looking for people who fit the description that you got from Wilson of the types to have that particular type of arrow, you could perhaps make spot checks for me.
Okay.
I am willing to do so. Let's see.
Spot checks. I love my spot.
Mine's pretty. Oh, sweet.
I got an 11.
I got a 24.
You do spot a group. You're near the center of the room. Sorry, I was setting something down there. Who seem like the type you were looking for. They're wearing more of a traveler's outfit rather than merchant outfit or just evening wear for the locals. And they appear to have... Well, there's no weapons allowed in Santer, you know that. But they do appear to have some of the accoutrement associated with being a hunter. And overall, they've even got the demeanor that you would look for. They are just hanging out with a group of like-minded folks and a few locals, sharing a few stories, and it's a very good time that they're having in the center of the tavern.
So, okay, so did we both notice them?
You did.
I did. Okay.
He saw the group. He did not recognize it the way
Sure.
you did.
Kador, those people over there, they're not really like, they're kind of dressed like travelers. I mean, I understand this is a big town, but like, we're supposed to be looking for people who don't quite fit in, right?
I would think so. I mean, there could be people that live in town that normally live in town that can go hunt, but I think that supposedly we're looking for people who are going to be mostly out and about and probably camping on trips. So if that's who you think might fit the description.
A further detail is they're dressed kind of like you would expect traveling like a hunter, ranger, or that sort of thing might dress.
Well, they definitely look like something I would dress in if I was gonna go try to, track an animal, hunt it down. I'm just saying, like, with what little I've known about trying to, become a ranger in the last couple of years here, that looks pretty typical to me.
Well, do you want to go confront them?
I mean, I guess. I mean, I trust a lot of people, but I also am not sure I want to talk to someone who's like killed animals for sport.
Yes, but that is wrong of what they did. And
That's
they
true.
need to be told so.
That's true, I suppose. My character's gonna just stand up and head on over there, but I'm gonna take my ale with me.
Yeah, don't leave the
Kador-
ever an ale.
Yeah, Kador will follow also with his ale.
Okay, I need to know some things.
Okay.
Your wisdom scores and your fortitude save modifier.
Wisdom score. Wisdom score without my modifier?
Yeah, just the wisdom score.
16.
Mine is 16.
And what is your fortitude modifier?
I'm gonna go look.
My fortitude modifier is 2.
There it is. 3.
Got it. Okay, good to know. So you approach the group of possible hunters, and they're currently in the middle of the story. One of them is bragging about some big catch he got some years ago involving a very large, maybe elk, something along those lines. There's horns involved. He almost got eviscerated, and then he managed to get the kill, and it netted him a lot of money. And everyone is enjoying his story. You approach, and you're just sort of part of the throng right now. As the story is over, they offer to buy a round of Avarin ale for whoever's around. So then the crowd is sort of dispersed now, enjoying their Avarin ale, at which point it is probably the right time to approach them.
Perfect. I'm going to head over there. And I'm not going to sit down, but I'll definitely kind of squish my way into the edge of the table and say, "Thank you for getting us rounds of ale. This is the first time I've had it, and it's delicious."
So I'll go ahead and describe these people for you. We've got one that's sort of not necessarily a leader, but the one that they sort of look to, and he's the most charismatic of the group. And then there's 2 more, and they're all sort of dressed similarly. He's got the eyes you would expect someone to that they would be very keen and observant about the room and behooving to a hunter, and the other 2 are very quiet and more observant of what's around them. And he sort of views you with how one might view a young fan. So he says, "Of course, sweetheart. Anything you say."
Now, I have another question for you gentlemen.
He says, "Shoot," and winks.
So, I'm kind of new to this area, and I've heard some really weird things that people are saying recently. And it's weird because like I'm new, but it's so I don't know. It's just frustrating to hear such bad things as soon as I got to what appears to be such a nice city. I've heard that there's been some killings recently. Did you hear anything about this?
He furrows his brow and turns to the other two of his company. He says, "I've heard nothing of any murders locally."
Maybe I should clarify. I don't necessarily mean like human killings. Like I've heard a lot more about animals dying. I figured, just because you guys seem so nice, you bought all this beer for us, and you look like you've been traveling. So I just was wondering if you'd heard anything from the other places you've been to.
Animals dying, you mean from disease, pestilence, that sort of thing?
No, and that's what's crazy. Everyone's saying that they've been murdered. They've been killed.
We're talking about animals, right?
Sure.
Well, you can't murder an animal, sweetheart.
Oh, well, I guess some people would say otherwise.
Have you guys been hunting recently?
Oh, hunting. Oh, yeah. We are hunters, yes.
What kind of hunters?
Well, I don't know if you caught that story I was telling just now about the 36-point elk that I took out about 3 years past.
Oh, that must have gotten you a lot of good meat and hide and everything, huh?
Well, more importantly, the trophy that I got from it.
Trophy?
Yeah, I got it mounted on the wall of the tavern back in my hometown.
Have you gotten any trophies recently?
Only a few. There's slim pickings out here.
Why do you like trophies so much?
Well, if you must know, I'm a representative of the Great Hunt. He sort of hunches towards you as he says that, like just between you and me.
Oh.
What might that be?
You've never heard of the Great Hunt?
Sorry. No, I haven't. I guess I haven't. I'm not well informed, I guess.
No, and I'm not from around here, like I said, so.
Well, the Great Hunt ain't a local thing. Or as they say in Elvish. I actually don't know what it is in Elvish, but the Great Hunt is pretty well known south of here. Not really in these parts, but south of the river. There's a whole thing. It's an Elvish thing.
Is it only elves that do that?
He looks quizzically at you. No,
I'm
ma'am. The elves haven't been around in a long time.
Why are you out here hunting? Like, if you have such good game back home, why are you here?
Practice.
Oh, it seems if you got a 36-pointer?
That was like 3 years ago. It was a 38-pointer.
Okay, I'm
Pretty sure
sorry.
you said 36-pointer.
I'm pretty sure I said 38. Can I get you another round?
I can lean over to Kador and be like, I think they're getting sick of us.
Well, I'm getting sick of them. It's hunting for sport.
Why don't we just go sit back down?
But they not need to pay for their crimes.
What what do you want to do? I don't know what to do.
If you don't mind me asking, where were you hunting recently then?
Now he's somewhat suspicious of your motives.
I mean, being a great hunter yourself, you must know the good spots to hunt.
Well, like I said, there's slim pickings. He's suddenly very guarded. Like he's very suspicious of why you're asking these specific questions.
I mean,
How? Sorry, go ahead.
No, you can go ahead. I'm not sure what I want to say.
I was gonna say, okay, hey, can we grab another round? Are you gonna get another round yourself, you said?
Yeah, I was gonna offer to get you another round.
All right, let's do it. Do you mind if we sit here with you?
Yeah, by all means, go ahead.
All right.
By the way, you have failed your first. You have failed a fortitude save for both of you.
Uh-oh.
Now that you are heading into your third ale.
Third ale, okay.
We're getting to know
Well.
this group.
Mhm.
Now you know their names, or at least the charismatic one, Tharson.
Nice.
Thirsty. So we're shaping up to have some good rapport with Tharson. So the more you ask about where he's been hunting, the more guarded he becomes because he's not sure it matters so much.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he reiterates, you know, it was slim picking anyway. It doesn't really matter. Don't know why you're asking me anyway. And he's more into trying to share stories about his experiences picking Major Derriere in the Great Hunt.
Is he still talking then?
Yes,
Okay.
as long as there's people to listen. The other two have found other things to do by this point.
Okay. Okay, so I don't know about you, but I feel like Ysarelle would just kind of be polite and actually listen to him because she is fascinated in new stories and other people's lives. But at some point, she's going to realize that they're not getting anywhere, and she's going to gently pat Tharson on the arm and say, "It's been so interesting hearing all your stories, Tharson."
He hiccups, steadies himself on the table, and says, "You too, sweetheart."
Oh, thank you. Hey, friend to friend, I do need to tell you something because I'm a little worried about you.
I don't have a problem.
No,
I'm sick of everyone telling me I have a problem. I can stop when I need to.
No, not like that. I'm just saying. Do you remember when I told you about those rumors people were talking about with people killing animals and stuff?
The murdered animals.
Yeah. So now that I know you, Tharson, I'm worried about you. I just want you to be aware that because you're a hunter, people might make associations, and I don't want you getting blamed for anything, okay?
You're worried that because I'm a hunter, people will think that I kill animals.
Yeah, I would watch your back the next few days, just because I don't know this town, and I don't know. You don't know what could happen, so just friend to friend.
He turns to Kador and says, I gotta watch out for those vengeful mice.
Oh, I'm sure you're going to have to watch out for more than that.
Cats, too.
Kador is, at this point, through all the stories, he's just ticked off.
You don't seem to like me that much. I should get you another drink.
I think I'm alright. But I appreciate the offer.
Well, it's been fun.
All right. Well, are you going to be around anymore, Tharson?
I don't know, wherever the wind blows me, you know. As a representative of the Great Hunt, I'm very busy.
Well, it'd be great to see you again tomorrow here. Do you want another pint tomorrow?
I can talk to the fellas about sticking around.
Awesome. Let's try to make it work.
Laughing because that's way easier than it is in real life to make plans.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'm assuming it's a smaller town than most of our
Right,
cities.
yeah. It's big for the time.
Oh.
So yes, he's willing, and he says, "You know what? I'll do my best."
All right. And so I'm gonna turn to Kador and be like, well, I mean, what do you think?
Is he gone? Is it just us two
Oh,
at
yeah,
this
that's
point?
I imagine that you two have split,
Okay.
or at
Then
least
Kador-
you've gone to a different part of the tavern.
Then Kador is gonna be like, I think he's a dirty hunter that needs to be taught a lesson. Great hunt.
Well, what do you want to do? Do you want to plan something for when we meet up with him tomorrow, or do you not think we'll meet up? Like, I of course assume he will. He seemed like a pretty good guy who kept buying people stuff.
Yes, he might treat people all right, but he doesn't treat nature correctly.
Well, do you want to go, I don't know, find the local authorities? Like, point him out to someone?
The authorities don't care. It's not their problem that nature's being destroyed and abused.
Well, I don't like being mean to people, but I know you're really frustrated about this, and I am too. We could always try to follow him to see where he's going tonight.
Yes, but we don't have our weapons, so we can't really do anything, because if we get into a fight, I don't know how well we'll do. He did seem rather drunk, though.
That's also true.
Jump him in a ditch.
Well, we could always still follow him, see what happens. You never know. Maybe he'll pass out. Maybe we can, like, go back to if he's back in his room, maybe we can, like, I don't know, if we have to, we can break in and see if he has any indication of having the same kind of arrows.
I mean, did they take your arrow? They probably took his.
Well, that's fine. What if he even has, like, animal pieces? I know you probably don't want to think about that, but what if he has, like, animal stains or, like, animal blood stains or animal pieces somewhere? They don't take that away, right? Or what if he has something on his boots? Like, what if he's got the grass from around where he was hanging out to shoot the animal? I'm sure we could find some clue.
You have a good point, Ysarelle. I'm down with following him if you are.
Let's do it.
Get to the bottom of this.
He does. Yes, let's do it. I'm thinking I should probably have some food before we head on out. But we shouldn't lose sight of him at all. So I'm gonna head up to the counter and see if I can't order some food
To go.
to go.
In a styrofoam box.
Yeah, medieval styrofoam box.
Yes, you can get some simple food.
Awesome.
But yeah, you can get a hunk of cheese, you can get meat, you can get bread, all that stuff, and I can price it out for you. Or you can just get a meal.
Make a nice sandwich.
I was gonna say cheese, meat, and a piece of bread or something like that. Sounds great.
Okay, that'll come out to the same cost as the ale, so 5 copper
5.
for just a decent meal.
Perfect.
So what I believe has happened, and you let me know if I'm wrong, is that you've talked to Tharson, he became inebriated and left. And then you went to the counter to get some food to go, and you intend to follow him.
Yes.
Okay. Well, you've got your food now. You can either
Yep.
eat it or you can eat it on the go if you want to. Just let me know what you were doing.
I will eat the meat, and I will save the bread for later. Just put it in my little bag there, and I'll munch on the cheese as we head on out.
Okay.
That's what I plan to do, at least.
Cheese. So you're outside now. Make a spot check to see if you can find Tharson.
Spot check.
Haha! 26.
24.
Okay. Tharson is currently talking to someone outside, and he's making big exaggerated gestures and everything. Something along the lines of he's a representative of the Great Hunt, and working for him will give a lot of exposure. So this person he's talking to should totally lend their skills to sing his praise for exposure.
Wait. Lend whose skills?
He's talking to a
Tharson's?
musician.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, I mean, I don't see any reason to go after. I'm just gonna keep my distance for now. Gonna watch what progresses here.
Well, obviously you can't eat with exposure. So their conversation ends, however the answer was. And then
Okay.
he's alone because the rest of the other two hunters are still in the tavern. So he just sort of stumbles over to a small inn where he must be staying at.
Oh, okay.
Goes inside.
Well, Kador, what do you think? Should we follow him in there?
Is this like another kind of tavern inn kind of thing?
This is actually just an inn, basically a motel.
Okay. Sure, we can pop in. Take a look around.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay.
Inside the inn, there's someone at the counter who is somewhat groggy. Eyes you as you come in. No one else is in the room. Says, "Are you looking for a room?"
Hello. No, actually, I'm just not tonight, but I do have a question about your rates and the general kinds of people who are staying here. You see, my mother wants to come visit at some point, but I don't have space for her, so I was kind of hoping I could put her up here.
Only the best clientele come to this inn. He yawns.
And how much is the room?
How many clients?
Just one, just my mom.
He stretches. He's awake now. Just your mother. One client. Okay. He looks through some scrolls, the equivalent of typing up on a computer. Says, "Looks like we can house your mother for about 2 silver pieces. What day should I book her for?" And he pulls out another scroll.
She has not sent me a final letter yet, so I'm not sure. I can get back to you pretty soon, though.
Okay, it's a deal for today. We're doing a special deal where you can get a room normally for 5 silver pieces. Today only, you can get it for 2 silver pieces.
Oh, okay. I will. I guess she'll just have to pay more.
I guess so. It's a real steal, and it's a shame you're missing out. Is there anything else I can do for you?
I do have a quick question. I need to rearrange some of the stuff here in my bag. Do you have a place I can sit down really fast with my companion here?
He gestures at a bench along the side of the wall.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. Ysarelle's gonna go sit down. And
The
I'm gonna...
The man behind the
Go ahead.
counter, real quick, he goes through a doorway and leaves.
Okay. So, Ysarelle's gonna go sit down and look around and look at Kador and say, "Hey, Kador, why don't we go try to find our guy now?"
It looks like there's a lot of rooms, though. We can't go around knocking on all of them.
Well, why don't we try to figure out if that guy pulled out a bunch of scrolls, right? Maybe he keeps a ledger of who's staying? We know Tharson's name, right?
True. Kador will look and, like, kind of walk a little closer back to the desk now that the guy has kind of gone away and see if he's left the scrolls out, possibly.
Question. He did. Only one of them, not the one where he books people. The one that shows the rates.
But can I roll anything to see if Kador might have, like, noticed where he put the scroll for booking?
Are you going around to where he was?
Is he in another room at this point? Like, is there a room behind the desk?
Yes, there is.
Then Kador will try to sneakily go behind the desk.
Okay. Move silently, please.
No bonus, really. Oh, crap. I got a 4.
Would you like to tell me how you managed to screw it up in game?
I imagine Kador is going to, like, he's going to be, like, crouched and kind of, like, trying to go, like, around the desk crouched, but there's, like, a part of it that hangs over and he doesn't realize it, and when he tries to, like, when he gets around towards, like, the back side, he's gonna go up too early and he's gonna hit his head on the lip.
No.
Bang!
Ah!
Okay, and what's going to happen in the split second before you are invariably found?
He's going to fall over. He's going to be to the side of the desk.
Because that's how bad you rolled.
Because he didn't make it. He didn't make it to the back of it because he got up. He tried to stand up too early.
Okay, so you whacked your head on the counter.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, what's what's with the racket out here?
Oh no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Sorry, I thought I saw a coin on the ground. I wanted to return it to the desk, but I hit my head, and it looks like I can't. It's not there anymore. Must have been seeing things.
He did try.
Oh, you've been hitting the ale a little too hard, huh?
Yes, I think I had a few too many.
Well, maybe you need to find a room to stay in and then call it a night.
I mean, it is getting a little late, and there is a deal going on, Ysarelle. Do you think we should get a room?
I suppose, if we must. I don't know, we didn't really look at anywhere else to stay, so a deal's a deal.
Yeah, the missus has approved.
So 2 silver pieces for a room.
Yes, 2 silver pieces, only today.
Very well. Is there one with 2 beds?
Well, remember the sale was for 1 bedrooms. If you are looking for a room with 2 beds, great. He consults his ledger, even though it's probably memorized at this point. Today only is 1 gold, 5 silver.
I think. Do you just have 2 separate rooms? We could just do 2 separate rooms.
Oh,
Yeah, let's do
okay,
that.
fine.
Anyway, so
did I mention how nice the 2-bedroom suites are?
Yeah, no, we're good. We want one bedroom each for the 2 silver each.
I mean, I sleep in the forest, so
Sadly,
pretty
I don't
sure-
have one of those.
yeah, that's fine. I'm pretty sure your room will be far nicer than the forest I've slept in.
Okay, he checks you each into a room. Let's see. Kador, you are in room 5. Ysarelle is in room 7. And then he hands each
Alright.
of you a key.
Okay.
You lose this, you're buying it.
Oh, okay. How much?
No, if you lose it.
Yeah, if we lose it, how much do we
Just
owe?
don't lose the key.
He consults his
Alright.
ledger again. 1 silver piece.
Okay. Alright, thank you. Do we need to know anything else?
They're made with a very precious metal. Oh, no, nothing else. But checkout will be at noon.
Okay, and the washrooms are also on the same floor?
Yes.
Excellent. And then if we wanted to go enjoy anything tonight, is there any good food or entertainment you'd recommend?
Well, there is a fairly nice establishment across the street. I don't know if you've been there yet. He glances at Kador, who can't take one step without hitting his head. But yes, there's usually a lot going on in the various establishments nearby.
Wonderful. Thank you. All
Very
right.
well. And
well,
he leaves.
well, I guess we're inside now and we can throw our stuff in our rooms and kind of wander around, see if we can figure anything out.
Yeah, sure, we could try.
All right. Well, Ysarelle's gonna start heading upstairs. Go put our stuff in her room.
All right.
Is there any way, as I or I don't even know if it's upstairs in the building. Is there any way I can just kind of keep my eyes open for anything that I might be able to tie to Tharson?
Where specifically?
Just as I walk through the hallways to get to my room.
How do you want to establish that particular question? How are you going to go about doing that?
Let's see. I'm guessing it would probably be something about knowledge about. It's either going to be a spot check or knowledge about nature, like if he tracked anything in that may have been related to the area where he killed the deer in.
Okay, make an overall spot check for just looking through the hallway.
Okay. Yes, 25.
Sadly, there's no mud in the hallway.
Okay.
But you also
Alright.
notice every door is closed, regardless of whether they're occupied.
Okay. Aren't most indoors already closed every time they're even if they're not occupied?
Yes. But it means
Okay.
that there's really nothing in the hallway to indicate where he would be.
Okay, cool. All right, well, that's it for her for now. She's gonna go throw her stuff in that room, or go towards her room rather.
Anything from Kador?
Kador is just going to put any items also in his room. But
Okay.
he's not figuring on finding anything, so he's not going to bother.
So we're hanging out in our rooms. Pretty much?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
I guess so.
So you've been in your rooms for a little bit, probably about to start thinking about sleep, potentially. And then you hear a bit of a commotion in the hallway. Not so
Oh.
much an argument or an altercation, just raised voices, and one of them is the slurred words of the charismatic Tharson. The other two voices are his companions, who you did not really interact with, but it's simply he's not letting them into the room.
Oh, okay. Well, I would like to peek my head out of my door.
Just observing?
Yes, for now.
Okay.
Like, I want to see if it goes anywhere.
Can we hear what they're saying, like, clearly enough without opening the door?
You won't hear every word, but the gist of it is he's on the other side of his door, not willing to open it because he wants his companions to prove that they are who they say they are. He's asking for the secret knock, and they have no idea what he's talking about.
Oh.
Because he's drunk and clearly made it up.
Of course.
The two companions, now that you are getting to hear their voices, because they're actually talking now, one seems to be a man who is getting up there in his prime, getting towards 50s or so, and then the other one is a woman who is just around Ysarelle's age, and she's got kind of a gruff demeanor. That's why you didn't pick her out as a woman necessarily when you were in the inn. In the tavern, I mean.
Okay.
They're hurling cuss words at him now of various deities, and he's telling them that if they're really who they say they are, they need to use the secret knock.
Okay, but didn't they try to do it, or did they not try to do it at all?
There is
'Cause
no
they think
secret
he's
knock.
crazy. Okay. Which room? Do we know which room this is from?
This is room 3.
Okay, so it's like before either of our two rooms.
Yes, because you were in 5 and 7, I believe.
Yep. Well, that at least means I can kind of poke my head out a little bit, and then I can try to get Kador's attention and give him a look like, all right, what are we supposed to do now?
I guess Kador will also poke his head out then. And he'll, like, try to whisper, hoping that they don't hear because they're causing a commotion themselves. Be like, we know what room he's in. We have to wait for them to leave.
And I'll just open my mouth like, oh, yeah, and then I'll give him a thumbs up.
The shouting match in the hallway lasts another minute or two, and then finally the older man says, "Come, daughter, let's just get our own room. Screw this mess." But in common, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So they leave. They go to the lobby to get their own room.
Well, I think my character will go back into her room and just kind of sit there and wait.
Okay, if you were paying attention to the hallway, you will know that momentarily the other two hunters have gotten a room that is further down the hallway. So
Past
10,
our doors?
15 around there.
Okay.
Yeah. And then they are very quiet. They're probably going straight to bed.
Yeah, Kador will go out to the hall then.
Right?
And he'll, like, gently knock on Ysarelle's door then.
All right, I'll whip it open and I'll be like, okay, is it time?
Yes.
Head on over?
Yes. Let's do this as quietly as possible.
I mean, I am fairly good at sneaking.
Then why didn't you sneak last time?
Well, I can do it this time. So I think, although, I guess we go over to. I'll go over to his door, and I guess I'll try the handle.
It is locked.
Mm-hmm. Dang. Um. Well, Kador, it's locked. What do we do now?
We can try to get his attention. Maybe he's not asleep yet, and we can do some sort of knock and hope he figures it's the secret knock.
You know, that could work. And you know what? If he doesn't, if he gets a little upset or frustrated, like, he'll know me. Like, it'll be fine.
There you go. It's good that you made friends with him.
All right. Well, how about you knock, and then we'll see what happens.
All right. Kador will do like this interesting knock of like knocking 3 times, then 2 times, then 3 times again.
I'm gonna have to hear it.
Okay, let's see.
Nice.
I already told you to sod off.
We just gave you the secret handshake. Or the hand knock.
You said there was no secret knock. He starts crying.
Well, wait. Is he's still in his room completely, right?
Yeah, he's still in his room.
Okay. All right. Well, Kador, should I just say something here?
Sure, if you want.
Sorry, we don't mean to upset you.
Then why did you leave?
Well, I came back, didn't I?
Yeah, but you got your own room.
And I'm just gonna look at Kador and be like, does he think I'm the other person?
I think so.
Stop talking about me.
Kador, do you remember me? I don't think.
Kador, you mean Tharson?
Sorry, Tharson. I don't think that you know who I am. You should remember me though. Remember we met at the tavern?
That's not how we met. Wait, who am I talking to? He opens the door. Sorry, no fans
Hi.
tonight. And he closes the door.
Oh,
Kador's gonna try to block the door before he closes it.
Okay, make a check.
What check am I making?
Whatever you think is the best one.
Oh, there's so many checks.
Could be a skill, could be a reflex save, could be a dexterity check. You tell me what you're using and I'll adjust the DC for it.
I think I'm just gonna try to make a dexterity check to kind of get some type of body part in between the door and the threshold.
Oh, wink wink.
Not that type of body part.
dexterity and flexibility, huh?
Well, god dang it! I got a 4 again.
Yeah.
I feel like if you get a nat 1, it involves hurting yourself, but just rolling low in general just means you didn't actually do anything. Just whiffed.
Yeah, I'm getting rid of that D20. That's failed me 2 out of 3 times now. 3 out of 4.
Okay, it's still only like a split second since he said no fans and closed the door.
Okay. I wouldn't mind trying to also work my way into his room. I could use. I mean, oh wait, nope. Yeah, I mean, I will try to also shove my elbow or my foot in there.
Okay, go for it. Just tell me what roll you're going to make.
Should I try the same thing?
Don't use Alex's die.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, dexterity, I suppose, right?
Yeah, I didn't see anything in the skills that necessarily would have.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna try here. Well, I rolled a 19, and my modifier is 2.
That's much
So,
better. So 21 is
21.
much better than 4.
That's so high you can tell me specifically how you stop him from closing the door.
Specifically, I throw my entire body into the door and force it open.
Oh man.
He's taken aback, still not in complete control of his words and facilities, and he says, "Well, I mean, not usually into this sort of thing, but you can both come in if you want."
All right, Tharson. I don't like to be mean, but here's the deal.
He takes off his jacket.
Tharson.
What?
I just wanted to let you know, like, all we wanted to do is talk to you about this the Great Hunt. Like, can we join it?
Oh, the Great Hunt. Well, I am a representative of the Great Hunt. I don't know if you knew that.
Well, we assumed as much if you started talking about it in the tavern. And while I'm saying this, I'd love to be able to give Kador a look and try to indicate maybe we should start taking like his jacket. I don't know if he set it down or not, though.
Yeah, he did.
Okay, well, maybe we should. No, I'll give Kador a look, kind of glance at the jacket.
Okay.
Or, yeah.
Does he seem distracted enough by Ysarelle?
Yes. He does not have the ability right now to multitask.
Okay. Kador will grab his jacket and take a look at it.
Even if he does know you're doing it, he's not going to react.
Okay.
He's like, oh, he's looking at my jacket. Yes.
He's
Well,
sloshed.
you should have been at the tavern earlier. I was telling some stories about the Great Hunt, which I represent.
Oh, okay. I get it. Tharson, can you tell me what's the best thing about being in the Great Hunt? And while I ask this, I hopefully make a gesture to Kador. It's like, all right, well, he's not really all with it. Like, let's look around.
Definitely the hunting. Fans are great.
Fans?
A door is a word. It's like a door. Adorators.
Yeah, but who would be a fan of hunting?
No, it's not about the hunting. See, people like to hear the stories when I represent the Great Hunt, and I've killed a 40-point elk.
Oh my gosh, it keeps freaking going up.
Really? You
And
have you?
people love hearing the stories, and it's great. I love the people need to hear the stories.
Do you have fans who are fans of your trophies?
Yes, the 42-point elk that I took down. His trophy is in the tavern in my hometown. And then
Kador's just face palming.
whenever I go into a town and if I've done any hunting, then I go to a local taxidermy, and then there might be a local establishment that will pay for the trophy.
Oh, well, that's fascinating. Do you mind if I sit down over here?
Where you want to sit?
I'm going to. Well, you can tell me what furniture's available, but I'm hoping that there's like a single chair, and then he's got like a couple pieces of clothing, maybe strewn on it.
Okay, there's like a overnight table next to the bed. Well,
Okay.
this is a 2-bed bedroom, so there
Okay.
are 2 chairs and 2 overnight tables. Because he was supposed to be sharing this bed with the other 2 hunters, this room with the other 2 hunters.
Okay. Um, one of the chairs.
Okay.
I'm very afraid of who was gonna sleep with who in this room.
Well, the other 2 hunters were father-daughter.
Yeah, that's why I'm afraid of who was gonna sleep with who.
Well, you can tell from the interactions there is a very low likelihood of that daughter being interested in Tharson.
Okay, so chair.
Yeah, there's 2
Right.
chairs. And the
Yep.
half of the room where the other 2 hunters were supposed to go is completely just clean.
Okay. Yeah, no, I want to sit down one of the chairs on Tharson's side.
Okay. There are a few just random belongings strewn around.
Okay. Do I see any clothing items that he may have dropped or like taken off when he got back from the tavern besides that jacket?
There is not, but his rucksack is sitting there, kind of open, and you might see a few things in there.
Okay. That's
Kador,
great.
Kador will ask, do you have any trophies with you that you've gotten recently?
Well, like I said, I take him to the tax people who clean the things. So I already did that. That's already taken care of.
Ah. Smart.
Oh, sorry. So you took something recently to a taxidermist?
I'm sorry, who are you?
Oh, Tharson, you know me. Remember, I came and listened to your stories. You were telling me all your amazing
Oh,
stories.
you're the
in
cute
tavern.
kid. Yeah. Yeah, what were we talking about? I'm really tired.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you need us to leave you alone? The only question I had was, you said you had the trophy or you wanted a trophy and you went to a taxidermist. I didn't understand what you meant by your timeline there.
Well, I went hunting first. And then
Mhm.
when they were dead, I went to the taxidermist.
Oh,
And then I
okay.
went to the tavern.
So, perfect. That makes sense. Do you need to lay down, Thurston?
Yeah, I'm gonna take a nap.
Okay. Do you need me to pull back the sheets for you? You okay?
You gonna tuck me in and sing me a song?
I can definitely twirl the
Kador's gonna be
sheets.
just like hand motions, like.
Don't Oh, Tharson, I don't know if I can do that right now. I actually have to head back to the tavern myself.
Well, don't overdo it. You know you have a problem.
I know I do. All right. I would love to see, like once he falls asleep, if there's any like mini mini searching raid we can do in his room.
Yeah, he's already asleep and snoring, and your conversation did not attract anyone's attention, so you're free to just rummage at this point.
Okay, cool.
Can I
Well,
find anything in his jacket?
He's got basically 2 gold pieces worth of coinage in there, and a few random scraps of paper, and like some berries that are rotted.
what about that rucksack?
That's basically everything that he owns that's not weapons.
Okay. Can I look through it?
Sure, yeah. What are
Okay.
you looking for?
Well, We know that we can head to the taxidermist if we need to, but at this point, we just want to see if there's anything that directly ties him to the killing of the deer itself. And I understand that the arrow's taken away, but on the off chance there's something in there, preferably even like a piece of the feather that might have matched
Okay, I get
that
it
might have
now.
matched the flint.
Yeah,
Or
so
not
there's
the
no
flint.
there's no search
Yeah.
or spot involved here because you can just dump the bag if it comes to it.
That's true.
So you do actually find about 3 arrows that match
Okay.
the one that you memorized that he has stowed away in his bag for whatever reason.
So they didn't take these?
Those are 3 arrows that were stuffed in the bottom of his bag.
Ooh. Well, because I had that Fletcher craft and I remembered what the fletching looked like on those, I'm definitely going to I'm going to recognize that and show him to Kador.
Okay.
Kador will grab them and snap them.
They make a sound.
Is that Kador? Is this all we need? What do you want to do?
Well, these are the arrows, it looks like. I don't know, we can't really do anything with him now. He's pretty much knocked out. But I do want to confront him about this. This needs to stop.
How about we head to bed, go to sleep, wake up in the morning, have a fresh start?
Yes, that sounds good.
All
Where
right.
are the arrows?
I'm going to... Are we going to put the stuff back in his bag?
I was going to, yeah.
I'm going to put the stat arrows back into his bag.
Yeah, I was going to start putting stuff back in his bag and then try to put it back where it was.
Well, the arrows were in the bottom of the bag, so they could have broken that way.
That's kind of what Kador figured, was that he'll probably just think that they got broken from the weight of everything else.
Just the crushing weight of his own mortality. It's a campaign in 2020. Okay, now it's morning. You've gotten a good night's sleep, unlike anyone who might be hungover. And now what are we going to do with our day?
I mean, hopefully we try to get up before Tharson does.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be easy.
Maybe get a good breakfast. Like, well, we can be... Well, yeah... Well, we'd have to leave the inn, so we probably wouldn't... I don't know if Kador would want to get breakfast, because he'd want to make sure that they don't lose Tharson.
What, are we keeping a watch on Tharson's room?
Yeah, for when he leaves.
Oh, okay. Now give me an idea of the picture here. What am I supposed to see for where everyone is when Tharson leaves?
Well, I guess technically we could be out. We could have left the inn, but then just like kept an eye on the front door. You said the tavern was across the street, didn't you?
Yes, the one that you went to that we were directed to by Wilson.
Then one could keep an eye on the front door of the inn, while the other one could go and get food for the two of them.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, that works.
So whoever is on guard does see just before noon Tharson leaves the inn. He is stretching, he is averse to the sunlight, and he makes his way towards the tavern where he can get his brunch.
Do you want to be on guard? Do you want me?
You've probably been better at keeping watch and like being able to
Watch.
recognize things. So
Yep, let's do that.
So Kador would get 2 breakfast meals then for the 2 of them.
Okay. Well, that means Ysarelle sees Tharson heading towards the tavern, which, according to what you just said, Kador is currently in. Is that right?
Yeah, which shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah,
because-
it shouldn't be a problem. Just making sure I understand where everyone is.
Yes.
So Tharson grabs some food to go. The typical breakfast of eggs and toast.
And bacon.
No bacon.
What? Oh, I hate him even more. Delicious bacon.
I mean, you don't want him killing animals unnecessarily, but for bacon, yes.
Yeah, that's a necessity.
Yeah.
So he leaves with his breakfast, and he's munching on the go. He's heading across town.
Okay, then. I mean, we would have gotten stuff to go to, and
Okay. Same price as
then
before.
followed. Okay.
Just 5 copper.
5 per person, correct?
Yes. Unless you're sharing.
And 1 silver equals 10 copper, correct?
Yes.
Okay, I need to adjust that. There we go. Perfect.
Okay.
If you are following him, it will be fairly easy. I would just like a stealth check to make sure he doesn't know. Sorry, it's hide for 3-5.
Oh,
Alright.
oh, is that what stealth is? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man, I only got a 10.
I got a 9.
I'm gonna make an opposing roll then with a
Gosh.
modifier for hangover, and he's either really good at hiding the fact that he knows you're there or does not know you were there. So he heads towards a taxidermy, which is also a blacksmith shop on the other end of town, where he then begins discussing with the person running the establishment what price he's going to get for the antlers that he brought them the day before. And they're haggling price. He's telling them all the different dangers he had to endure in order to get it, hoping to get a better price. He mentions that he represents the Great Hunt at least twice, and then he gets some money and then leaves.
Well, are we still following him?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Are you following him where he's going to go now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
He heads back towards the inn for a little bit. Then he comes back and he comes outside and he heads towards the tavern where he's going to hang out for the afternoon.
I'm kind of not sure exactly what to do now. Because, like, I don't want to keep following him, but I guess we have to.
Are you both going to be in the tavern, or are you just hanging out outside?
Kador
Oh.
would just want to hang outside.
I'll head into the tavern, just kind of keep an eye on.
Okay, Kador, give me a
anything that
spot
might be
check.
suspicious.
Oh, like everything, it sucked. So that's a 9.
Okay, you spot, because you're not far from one of the gates of the city, you spot the other 2 hunters getting their weaponry and heading out of town.
Kador will go into the tavern and find Ysarelle. Hopefully it's not too hard, since it's not in the evening when everybody would be partying.
Yeah, it's more of the lunch and afternoon ale sort of crowd.
He will sit down with her and he'll not like whisper, but quietly be like, "Seems his companions are leaving the city."
Leaving? Like, leaving?
Yes, they were getting their weapons at the gate.
Well, okay. So, I know you're really into this idea about basically punishing Tharson for what he did. I'm okay with this. Do you want to stay here? Do you want to stay here and go after him, or do you think it's more important to go follow his colleagues there?
Well, we've found the arrows in his bag. So right now, I blame him for what has happened.
All right. Well, then we just have to keep an eye out for him, or we got to figure out how you want to address him about this. Do you just want to walk up to him tonight and say, "Hey, we're pretty sure you hunted a deer for trophy, and we don't like that."
Yes. I want to confront him.
All right. Well, I guess we'll do that.
All right, Tharson's just hanging out in his usual spot in the tavern, having an ale and some lunch. Are we wanting to be seen?
My character would prefer to be maybe have the ability to leave if needed. So I would like to not be seen if possible.
Yeah, Kador wouldn't want to make a huge giant scene.
Okay, he's not looking for you, so you won't need to make a check for that. So are we waiting until it's nighttime and then we're confronting him?
Either that, or if he ends up leaving to go somewhere else and we happen to get into like an alley or something that isn't traveled as much.
Yes.
So no
agreed.
witnesses.
There's not going to be any killing, hopefully.
I mean, you're the one who said you want to corner him in a dark alley.
Scare him a little bit. So he stops his great hunt.
We are the ghost of nature. I mean, you do what you want. You just let me know how I can help.
Maybe we just wait a little bit in the tavern for now.
Okay. He does his thing. He's just hanging out. If anyone wants to come and hear a story about the great hunt and the 34-point elk that he killed, and
it's up to like 48 now.
It's getting bigger, yeah. And eventually, yes, he is going to depart from here and head. Before it becomes nighttime, he's going to head around and do some errands. First thing he does is he heads across the street to the inn. Comes out of the inn kind of consternated, which is not to be confused with constipated. And then he looks around like, what? Halor's name. And then he heads towards the weapons depot near the gate where the deputies keep the weapons. He goes inside. Then he comes back out, looks around, confused and angry. Sort of puts his hands in the air like whatever, and then continues with his errands.
Huh. Well, I'm gonna look at Kador and say, do you think his colleagues took something of his?
Either that, or he's confused as to why they left him.
All right. Well, let's go after him. I know you wanted to confront him tonight.
Yeah, let's do it.
He does various errands, and as it starts to get dark, he starts to make his way back towards, making his way downtown. Towards
way downtown.
Making his way towards his favorite tavern. At any point, you could probably try and corner him.
All right, we will do so. Or at least Kador will.
Okay.
Yep, right behind Kador.
Make me a... What is it again? Hide. That's it. Hide. Sorry.
Hide. Okay.
Failing at 3-5.
Oh, lovely. I got a 5.
Mine. Mine is a 19. Oh wait, nope. I'm reading this wrong. Nope, 22.
How do you read a 19 wrong?
Because the colors of the imprints on my dice are basically wiped off, and I have to hold it up to a light at an angle to see what its proper number is.
Okay. Right around
cheap
when Kador is trying to get close, and then Tharson turns and goes, "What the?" That's when Ysarelle can come around a corner and push him into the alley.
Perfect.
He's like, "Wait, you're the fans from the tavern. You know, you could wait. I'm on my way to the tavern to tell more stories about the Great Hunt."
Yeah, about that. You need to stop the Great Hunt.
I'm not in charge of the Great Hunt.
Well, stop doing your own part of the Great Hunt.
I'm under contract.
You are doing terrible things. Killing animals and then just leaving them there just for your trophies.
I don't always leave them. When I have people with me who know how to do that whole skinning and like get the meat, that thing with the meat, then but when I what is going on?
You killed some deer back in the forest that was my home.
I didn't see a house in the forest.
You didn't go deep enough. But we found deer just laying there with their antlers cut off. Just left there to rot.
Oh, that wasn't me. That was the other two. They left already. You should go get them.
One of them had your arrows in it.
Oh, I didn't shoot my companions. Oh, you meant the deer? The deer, yes. Well, I'm glad you noticed my handiwork. I did, in fact, kill that one.
So then why did you leave it there?
Why I needed the antlers. I mean, I don't want to carry the deer to the taxidermist just so you can make a trophy out of the antlers and I can sell them, when it's a lot more efficient to cut the antlers off the deer. I don't know what the big deal is.
Stop hunting for sport.
You're trying to mess with my livelihood. What I'm getting from this, you don't think that that I should be able to make a living in this very tough world where I struggle to make ends meet, and I can do this. I can do this.
No, you're hurting nature.
Well, what do you want me to do? I can't just stop my livelihood. This is how I make my living.
Be more respectful to the animals and the natural world.
So,
I don't care that you don't want to carry the deer. You carry the deer back, and you use all of it.
That's sick.
It's not sick.
I think you are also forgetting, dear Tharson, that you could make more money if you brought the entire animal back.
Are you willing to teach me how to do this? Because honestly, this is not my wheelhouse. I'm really good with a bow. That's my thing.
Oh. I mean, I'd be willing to possibly do that for you. Kador, what do you think?
If it gets him to stop doing what he's doing now.
I mean, if there's money in it, yeah, I'm all about that.
Well, the thing is, if you learn how to skin it right there and cut up the meat, you definitely need to probably buy yourself a bigger, sack or backpack. But if you can even get a even even if you can get it like a donkey or a horse and help you bring it back to the local city, you can sell all that meat to the butcher. You can sell it, to locals for venison. The hide. I mean, I don't know how much you could even get for those hides.
I have a question for both of you. How much time are you willing to spend on Tharson to ensure that he knows how to properly utilize a kill? Because he has no idea what the process is.
Okay. Well, Kit, I think Ysarelle would be able to. Are you talking in game?
I mean, like, yeah, in-game time. How much would
In-game time.
How much time would your characters be willing to lose?
To lose.
Teaching Tharson basically how to be a naturalist like you two.
Naturalist. I mean, my character probably a day or a couple days, like assuming that game is scarce around here. They're probably not going to find another deer immediately, but they also don't have to find a deer. They could find something smaller and still teach them,
All right.
stuff. But that would just be me.
I mean, Kador, to make someone become more of a naturalist, he's willing to spend any amount of time to make sure that happens.
I mean, there's a whole range of things we can do with this situation. You could just teach him how to skin something and get the meat off of it. You could teach him how to go a step further and make jerky. You could teach him you could encourage him to get a beast of burden that carries the full dead carcass. You could give him instruction that would send him on his way to being a ranger. It just is up to you.
I don't think my character would want to stay around as long because she wants to see a little bit more of the world, right? But she wants everyone to be good. So yeah, she'd stick around for a little bit to make sure he was a proper environmentalist, but not as long as I'm sure Kador wants.
Right. Because there's a few approaches here. There's one is simply you could help him with the funds necessary to get a horse or something like that he could actually carry his kills with him. You could teach him how to skin an animal and get the meat off of it and preserve the meat. There is one issue, which is where are you going to demonstrate these things, considering he's been hunting in a place that if he gets caught by the Druid Conclave, he will be killed without prejudice.
I think, I don't know, it sounds like it'd be better to let's figure out if he can't get a donkey or something to help him carry his kills.
Yeah, we can see how much.
Yeah, if you talk to him about various things, you'll find that he doesn't make an awful lot of money from taxidermy and all of that. He makes just enough to live by and give the impression of affluence.
Right.
You're not even convinced after talking to him that he does, in fact, represent the Great Hunt because he can't give you any details about what that entails. But basically, the only way he'd ever be able to get a beast of burden that you want him to have if he just saved up for a long time. Now, donkeys are fairly cheap. They're just ornery and difficult to handle. and from your interactions with him, he's not good with animals. So it might be better to get him a pony or something, which comes out to roughly 30 gold.
Okay, so what do you want to do, Alex? It's either that or try to convince him to become a ranger and be more of a nature person.
I don't know. That's a lot of gold.
I know.
to do. I mean, how long, Joseph, would you say that it would take to kind of get him on the path of a ranger?
You could go on a 2-day round trip, sort of expedition into just the wild. Go hunting with him. He knows how to hunt, and then with whatever it is that you're able to catch, then you can walk him through the process of skinning and then preserving meat. It could just be a 2-day thing.
How is that for Ysarelle?
I'd be fine with that. I just don't want to ruin or risk the possibility of druids getting mad.
I mean, if the druids catch him, then the druids catch him. He's gotta.
Yeah, it's
But you don't have to go into the Great Forest. Larson suggests that there's a lot of wildlife between here and Gamut. which is actually Kador's hometown.
Yeah, I mean,
Memory serves. I don't
I'm
quite
fine with
remember.
that.
The Gamut is about 4 days.
We're not going to Gamut. We're just going like in the direction of Gamut because he said there was game between there and here.
Yes. So I believe you guys were starting off your journey by saying you wanted to head to Santer, because it was the closest city to where you were, and then follow the road going west towards the river. So actually, Gamut is along that path, and I think that was one of the reasons you wanted to take that route. You could actually check in on people that you know in Gamut.
Okay.
And I believe that you weren't really taking the road for any reason except to see things. This is a chance on the way to Gamut to at least spend 2 days with him going hunting, finish the journey to Gamut, and figure out what you want to do from there.
Okay.
There. This is a good representation of where we are. So you are here. This right here is Santer.
Okay.
And then Gamut is over here. There's a 4-day travel on foot. Great forests here. Oasis is down here in the desert. There, now you can see Oasis. There's Oasis. So, I was talking to Alex about, you had the plan of following this west road here to head towards the river. And ultimately, the idea was go Santer to Gamut, and then just sort of, that's where Alex's character is from, so then you sort of say hi to people and get the feel for things, and then continue the journey as you see fit.
Okay.
We can assume that after this session, you are in Gamut. You go on your 2-day little venture with Tharson, who actually keeps trying to hire you to join his group. and go and tear up the Great Hunt with him, which he admits he's never actually been on, but he very much wants to.
And we could continue to turn down his offers.
Yes. I assumed as much. He is not stupid. He just is not wise with how he conducts his life, and the impression you got of him when he was inebriated is not necessarily fair to him, to the way that he usually handles himself. He's just not experienced. He is proficient with a bow, and he does have some abilities. So he does eventually understand what you are teaching him. He's able to pick it up fairly quickly. And he appreciates that you have taken an interest in his financial situation.
Okay.
That's really all he's getting from this, is that you're helping him make more money. So he learns that, and I will put it in the XP log that you did all that. So you went on a hunting journey with him.
Okay.
There's no need for you to make any rolls or anything, because he's the one who's going to do the hunting. He wants to show off how good he is with a bow. And he gets suitable target, something you approve. So no, like, young wildlife or anything like that, or a mother of anything. So he picked it up. He learns how to make jerky. It tastes terrible, but it's a start, okay? And then we're going to pick up next time with you guys. It's going to be nearing the end of Pelaros, and you will be in Gamut. Now, the importance of nearing the end of Pelaros as we come to a close. Pulling up something real quick.
Okay.
Pelaros is the first month of the year. It starts on the full moon, and the following day is called spring wheat, and that's where the harvest, the planting of the different crops begins.
Ooh, fun.
It coincides with towards the last week or so of what we call February. So we are approaching the end of Pelaros, which will be the spring equinox festival. So it might be a fun time in Gamut.
Nice.
Kador has some good memories of the spring equinox festival.
Yes. It was a jovial time. I can't wait to come home and see everybody and celebrate.
One other thing
No-
is what we have ahead of us in the campaign. Next 2 months are Obid and Elanos, which means if we want to attend the Vigil of Obid High or the Feast of Ilana, we can do that.
Oh, sweet.
Ooh, Feast of Alana.
Yeah, the only thing is it's not necessarily a widespread thing like how we know it's Canadian New Year or whatever, you know.
Sure.
But you know, you might look out and find some fellow followers. Now, this area is very heavy in Obid High representation. I believe you at least, Ysarelle, you were a follower of Ilana. Is that right?
I looks like I had both listed because I wasn't familiar enough with either of them. So I can choose one if you want.
No, you don't have to. It's a good season, the spring season for people who like Palor, Obid High, and Ilana. So you can have some fun with that. That's all I've got for episode 5. It was an interesting conclusion to Fish Out of Water, episode 2, where we thought we were going to have this big confrontation with these big bullies going around murdering animals, and really it's just some guy doing his best, angering the people who he thought were his friends, and then actually getting to learn to do better. It was an interesting turn for your characters, how you decided you were going to go about interacting with people.
Yeah, I wasn't quite sure exactly what we should be kind of doing, like against him, but I think it turned out great.
Yeah, that's all I've got for you. So thanks for coming out. I know we had a few people who popped in to say hi, like Ursamik, and I hope that we're able to very soon get the entire party together. The intent is we're wrapping up the storylines at this point, so then we can head into essentially chapter 2. So I will probably see the two of you in 2 weeks' time.
Awesome.
Alrighty.
Yeah, that's all I got for now. I'm saving the map and I'm going to end the stream. I will see you all later.
All right.
Thank you